This is what a young teenage boy said in May of 2004, May 22nd, 2004, 1 month before he passed away. Have I done enough? Will it last? And then on June 21st, the day before he died, he said, Amen, I love you. And his last word, according to his mother, Jenny, was yes. That was his last word, yes. So in honor of this incredible young man that touched my life, touched the lives of a man who was president of the United States, the president called him the most incredible person he had ever met, who touched Oprah Winfrey like almost no one else has. Make yes be the answer to the question, have you called in your pledge? Make yes be the answer. Maddie Stepanik's final word. It'll make you feel good. It's the last few minutes. It's been a tough time for the country the last 10 days. People have thinking of a lot of different things. What are you going to get to do? Like I mentioned to Pat, you know, I'm sure the person is there. A lot of people are just kind of looking at the phone, but they're not picking it up.
Are.
What are you going to do? There's the camera right out there. See where that red light is? This is it. This is you and the Delaware Valley, Monica. How are you going to get those folks to pick up the phone?
I would like those people to look at their own children.
So go right to Kirk before he gets even colder.
I don't know if I can possibly get much colder. I think you'll see in the forecast actually some rising temperatures, and that's good because it's been bitterly cold. I don't ever remember a snow like this with temperatures so cold, but see, they're getting ready for it. They continue to. They've got a snow train behind me that's getting set to venture out here. And still, what's amazing here on U.S. Route 1 on City Avenue is the traffic. Let's take a look at this batch of cars to see if they make it up the road, and it does look like they are. Well, good morning, Dawn and Steve. This is an amazing storm. Now, we might not have gotten the Super Bowl in Philadelphia, but we certainly have the Super Bowl of weather here that we're dealing with. And I'm just trying to figure out what's happening with these sleet pellets. It looks like they're coalescing together as some of them are clumping together. And we had one area here that was shoveled, just to give you an idea of the sleet accumulation that we have seen over the last, say, half an hour or so. And notice this is all, if you take a look at it, this is all ice pellets that we've got there. There aren't any snowflakes there, and that can be very, very slippery to drive over, especially when you've got a snow base underneath. So this sleet is falling heavily at this time. One of the SEPTA trucks going by to give us a little sounding there. And one of the things that we really appreciate you doing, you're part of our weather team, part of our Earthwatch team, is sending in emails, questions, comments, what's happening in your town, what's happening in your backyard. Susan in Newcastle County was wondering how this storm compares to 1983 when we had 20 years ago a storm with almost as much snow. Well, technically still it had more snow at 21.3 inches, but this is very similar to that event. And then also Kathy in Montgomery County, as I mentioned, this is the Super Bowl of weather, so she was asking, she saw the same folks on last night that she sees on this morning. She was asking, do we ever sleep? And the answer is, during these kind of storms, not very much. And of course, we're only still dealing with the cold weather, although it is warmer than it was yesterday. Yesterday, we were looking at temperatures, say, 10, 12 degrees. Now we're up at least into the 20s, and temperatures should be rising, as Glenn has showed you, with that warmer air trying to get into the mix, and temperatures up near freezing down in Cape May County. So they're actually seeing some areas turn to rain in extreme southern New Jersey. But today makes 32 of the last 35 days that we have had below normal high temperatures. So this has been an amazing string this winter, but hopefully later this week, Glenn will be showing you, of course, in a few minutes the 5-day forecast, but later this week, a little preview for you. We should have, hooray, temperatures in the 40s, and I don't think a 40-degree reading will have ever felt so warm as it will by the time we get to it a little bit later on. Be careful, not nearly as much traffic as we have seen, say, yesterday in the afternoon and in the evening when the traffic was really amazing. People still on the streets, so people are thankfully heeding our warnings, and there are just a very few vehicles, and most vehicles that we do see are four-wheel drive. One good thing, at least the wind seems to have calmed down a little bit. Been checking it with my handheld anemometer the last couple of minutes, and it's dropped down to about 5 miles an hour. So at least for the time being, the winds have calmed down a little bit here along City Avenue. Steve and Dawn?
All right, thanks, Rick. That's good news. The wind's dying down a little bit.
And an answer to the question, do we ever sleep? We're going to take a 2-minute nap now.
George Washington's been up there for 170 years now. It's the first civic monument ever dedicated to the first president, and he's never looked better than he did tonight on this beautiful evening. It was fabulous to be here, but if you didn't make it, here's the next best thing. Let's show you some of the sights and sounds from just minutes ago when the fireworks went off, a spectacular fireworks display. This could be the picture in Maryland come tomorrow morning. Old Man Winter has dumped nearly 2 feet of snow on the south. Now it's headed our way. Good evening, I'm Kurt Clyde. Coming up on Fox 45 News at 10, we'll have the latest on the winter storm. It's almost more like being in the Sierra Nevada of California than in the city of Baltimore. Look at this. In a relatively sheltered area here on TV Hill, the drifts are now more than knee-deep in some locations. The question is, as Lori alluded to, is this storm going to top the blizzard of 96?
All you need to know is that you're going to bring your kids to work.
That's right. Bring your kids. Have as much.
If I can bring my dog to work, you can bring your child to work.
Have as much fun as we are, that's for sure. We'll be back with our friends from Legg Mason. Give us some insight on what's going to happen next in this crazy market. It can't be any crazier than this show. Bye! That's next. Fox 45 Morning News. Looks like temperatures are warming up. Joy and I share one screen. Again, this is a great thing. You know, it's amazing. Women have certain powers. Did you know that, Joy?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. Like, for instance, I know a number of women probably in my life would have liked to have had the power that you have. All you have to do, let's see if this works, is snap your fingers and I'll disappear.
Oh, can we do that again? I love that.
And John Brown says I could use it as the weather pointer. So this is something you've never... I won't drop it. You've never seen before on television.